You did better, but that was really slow.
Yeah, I know. I may have done it on purpose.
Cross ExAnime episode 63.
2.
I'll save that for next week.
Yeah.
Just, splice it in. Justice, what are we talking about? We've added to the A-list since last time we've seen each other.
Yes. So we're talking about 86, Mushoku Tense, Mieruko-chan, Takt Op Destiny, and our new one, My Little Pony. No.
My Little Pony.
It's Demon Slayer.
Now we gotta watch My Little Pony. You lied to
No.
Listen, if you're a brony, just fucking unsubscribe. I'm not dealing with you. Also, if you're a furry, I'm not dealing with you. If you're into anything fucked up, we're not dealing with you.
Look, I wouldn't go that far.
What?
It depends on your definition of anything fucked up.
Listen, if you want a fucking animal, get the fuck out of here. Raftalia is different.
Oh, really? Really?
Well, you're not gonna go fuck like a legit raccoon. It's like this is a human with raccoon ears. That's the only difference.
So cat girls are fine?
Yep. Genetically modified cat girls.
Okay.
Do they have human rights or do they just have animal rights?
What depends on the series. If you count Shield Hero, animal rights.
Oh, that's true. Well, no rights in general. So it's been 86 weeks. Episode 86.
Yeah.
I love how they're like, "Yo, 86 is back. Here's your one episode."
Yeah. Look,
Is it episode 20?
There's only 12 episodes.
Are we talking about episode 20? Well, it's episode 20 over the overarching
It's episode like 10 of the 12 for season 2 or part 2.
What happened in it? Because I watched episode 20 and I don't know if I was supposed to watch that.
Oh, there wouldn't have been a new episode. So
Okay,
there
so
is
we're good.
basically only exposition this episode.
Yeah.
It ended with like,
Shin, don't go dying on me.
yeah.
I'm not going to die on you. Don't go die on me. I'm going to go die on you. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Shin has
Shin's having a mental breakdown, dude.
it's reasonable though. That man's been through a lot.
Red Hair McGee wants to fuck the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And her hopes were destroyed by by the fucking princess. Like, well, maybe he thinks of you like a sister. And she's like,
yeah.
she just fucking
Didn't even
hits
just
hard.
say like sister, kid sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kurina.
Well, even the rest of the squad's like, go tell him you want that fucking dick. And she's like, I couldn't do that. He thinks of me as a kid sister. Oh, my hopes are destroyed. Like, bitch, walk up to him. You did get some background of why Shin is like this. He's like, yeah, I was really happy because I thought I was going to die. And it's like, ooh, man, this season's been real dark between, Blue Period and now this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, with everyone wanting to fucking die, it's almost the end of the year. Like, be happy.
Yeah, that basically like you find out, and the most important thing is, while everyone else is starting to have the resolve of pushing on and living, Anju, Kurina, Theo, and Raiden.
Hey, Fido. He's part of this fucking team.
And I guess Fido.
Also, Fido was sweating at one point.
Yeah, I mean,
Our boy can sweat. It's been confirmed.
They all have more of a resolve to like finish this and live. They're fine with dying, but
At least try.
yeah, they're
Try
gonna
and
try. Shin, on the other hand, is just like they're all looking forward to what comes next. They have goals of like going to the beach and like stuff like that. And he's like, I don't have any of that. I don't want to know any of what
They
I
have mentioned the Federation way too much this episode for the Federation and our girl not to show up. Like, they purposely haven't done...
the Republic?
Is it the Republic? Or
Yeah.
the Federation? The thing that's-
Federation is them.
I thought the Republic was them and the Federation was...
No.
Oh, I thought they said there was still no contact with the Federation.
Mm.
Oh, well. Whatever.
I don't
The old government.
Whichever way. It's
Yeah.
referring
whatever.
to one as a federation and one as a republic is like muddy
You're right.
lines anyways.
So the Reich...
yeah.
I mean, that's basically what they are. People with certain hair, the 86 and all that shit. But the thing is, they haven't shown how our woman died. They haven't
The
mentioned-
rule of the show is if you don't see them physically die, they're not dead.
Yeah. Like, you see people die, which shows that they're dead. Even, like, what was it, episode 19? Our woman that went down that ship, it's like, oh, she's dead. And the next episode's like, nope, I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, they even, near the end of that episode, it was, you hear her on the radio being like, they probably don't know that I lived, but, like, I hope that they think about me kind of thing.
Yeah, they're so deep into Legion territory. It's like, yo, we could march all night and still not catch up. But our old soldier dude's like, yo, we're going light as we can. We're going to fucking march our ass up there to give him a hand. It's like, what are you going to fucking do with, like, a couple fucking AKs? Like,
well, they're still going to ride their, like, juggernauts, essentially.
Yeah.
I forget what the...
No, I think they are juggernauts.
Well, they are, but that's...
I can go get my mom kit that says juggernaut on it.
That's what the, like...
Well, that's... They had
Federation or Republic, like, calls it. But
the right.
The new ones have a different name, but
listen,
Shin was like...
This what's going to happen this episode. This. To be fair, we were both wrong. We said people were going to die. No one's died. Remember, we talked about that. So we both have to watch
I didn't realize
show.
We were going to get an exposition episode, which it was still important. I'll give that.
Meh.
You start to see, like, important details of why, like,
listen,
Shin
if I wanted to
acting
see a whole bunch of depressed kids talk about it, I'd go back to high school. Yo, you guys want to go fight in the army? That is like a recruiter's fucking wet dream. It's like, yo, you kids are depressed and you want to die? Want to kill some people in the process with it? Come on.
Didn't BB literally say that was one of his techniques?
You want to kill people and not go to jail?
Yeah. It's so messed up.
That was back at the height of, yo, we need people.
Yeah.
I think that's how they got him.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, there was a time, I mean, he only enlisted because he was jobless at the time. Speaking of jobless reincarnation. Listen, we hit everything with 86. Not much happened. There's only one thing. The next one, because we're going to get, through 2 episodes, and that's it for the season? So I think it's only 12.
Yeah.
So my guess is our woman's going to show up with the rest of the 86 and be like, yo, we're here to fucking help. And it's like, yo, we're here to help.
Yeah, I think Shin's going to be right at that cusp where he's about to basically, like, suicide himself, and then she's going to show up.
Shin, he's like, yo, that blonde hair, oh man, I was trying to be somewhat more family friendly. Yo, that blonde hair booty, like, not blonde, white hair, but listen, fucking, yo, that white hair.
Look, yeah, I know where you're going. But, yeah.
I feel so sorry for a red hair girl. She's so like, I want shit. And Shin's like, nah. But white hair chick, well, hold up.
No, she got a sexy voice. I don't know what she looks like, but she seems hot.
Yep. That's right. He's never seen. No, I think he's seen a picture, right?
Well,
because they exchanged that one photo.
Maybe, but I don't remember. Because I'm pretty sure that
I've never seen Crony, but that voice, though.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Shin.
They saw what... she saw what they looked like when she went to visit the base.
Yeah.
And there was the group picture, but I don't know if they ever...
But back to jobless people. You should really watch the series, Justice. I fucking cried. Listen, episode 23 is where we ended it. I cried then. I cried in episode 22. And I cried in episode 21. It's fucking emotional.
Sounds like you're just being a little baby.
Listen, you get to the end. So basically, we're getting to the end of the journey. And the episode we hit is... You find out a little bit more about our boy that's reincarnated. And I tell you, there's like the, Wii Sports kind of character that he talks to. We find out his actual name is like Man God is how people refer to him as. And we find out because they mentioned earlier in the season, there are 7 gods in the world. Like God level people because they're so strong. And they run into one of them, which is the Dragon God. And he's the most powerful person. Like, he has techniques that could destroy the whole world, like that level of power. But because he has so many curses on him, he can't do that. The curse would kill him before he could do it, which is kind of a cop-out, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense because they explain some of the other curses. He's ranked number 2 amongst the god, and Lapis is ranked number 1 amongst the gods, and he's the god of tactics. So and then Man God, which is the guy our boy's been talking to, Rudis, which has been teleported to the world, Wii Fit, sports trainer. And then he asked him, because Rudis is like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? And we sports trainers like, he's strong. And, he's strong. But what happened before that was very, very tense. Like, highlight of the whole season. Our main, so there's 3 in the party. There was Rudis, Eris, and Ryujid, whatever. I don't remember how to say his name. Yeah. And he's the super strong fighter. Like, he's the guy that's always got him out of every situation. He and Eris are just frozen in place, scared to death of this dude. Because one of his curses caused people to be so deathly afraid that they don't move or say anything or don't look at him. But Rudy's unaffected by a lot of these curses because he's from another world. Our dragon god walks by, and Rudy goes to talk to him, and Ryuji, or whatever, we'll just call him Ryuji, super easy, is like, don't say anything to him. You're going to fucking piss him off. Rudy's like, oh, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm the dragon god. Wait a minute, you're not supposed to be born. Your dad's only supposed to have 2 daughters. And that's when he realizes, you're not from this world, are you? And then a whole fucking fight kicks off. Like, super big fight. Our Superb is just like defending Rudy, like, it's like fucking Naruto shit. You just see fucking flashes go back, forth. And then he gets hit like once in the stomach and he goes fucking flying and you're like, oh. Like, this would be the same as when, like, how do I put this in perspective? When, oh man. I'm trying to think of a fight that'd be like mean as much. Like when Ichigo goes to like the Soul Society. Like he fights, gets knocked down to like one hit by like Kenny. Kind of like that. Where it's just like, oh shit, there's like a whole different level. Except
I thought you were going to use the example of Aizen showing up there at the end and Ichigo going to fight him and Aizen stopping the blade with one finger.
Actually,
and then
it's cutting, it's more like that.
Literally cut, almost disemboweling.
That's what I would say. It's more like that, where it's just like, boom, gets hit, falls. And you're like, then Eris comes up, and Eris is a very good fighter. She gets literally just like bitch slapped, hits the fucking wall like Mach 2 and is passed out. Rudy's like, super scared because he has this eye that he can see a few seconds in the future. He sees himself getting stabbed, freaks out, it's like, oh, I didn't get stabbed. Guy picks him up and just fucking stabs him through the chest with his hand and then drops him on the ground. And that's when I was like kind of emotional. I'm like, wait, he's going to die? Is this how we're going to like end the season? Because I didn't know it was going to be 23 episodes. I thought it was going to be 22 because like 21 went and they kind of like 22 there. And it just was like, he's fucking dying. Like, you watch him die, and that's when we have the conversation with Man God, and when we find out all the details about the gods and what it is. And this whole time, you do have these flashbacks of Rudy's old life, because he was bullied. He was like a fat, shut-in, whatever, because he was bullied for defending a gal. He was tied up naked, and people took pictures of him at school, and of course, shuts himself away, and then yada yada, death. And then finally, he has this, like, turn in his head of, like, oh, it's not worth living. And Man God's like, well, I mean, you're still alive. Because as Rudy's dying, the Dragon God and his companions say, he's interesting. And then you don't know it. Man God's like, you're alive. Rudy's basically come back to life because Dragon God has kind of spared him. We don't know why. Supposedly, next season, or if you read ahead in the manga, it makes sense why. We just don't know anything. It's kind of a cliffhanger. So Rudy gets better. Eris hugs him because she's like, oh, Rudy, I'm so glad you're alive. She's crying. I'm crying. Fucking, Rudy's crying. I'm like, oh, fuck me. God damn it. And she's like, I kind of love you. Now, this is where it gets spicy. Super spicy. You're going to fucking love this. They get back to his hometown, completely fucking destroyed. This is where I started to cry again. Because it's like, oh, everyone's missing. There's a lot of people missing. We're back at our old town. And this out of nowhere, our Superb, the one that's been escorting Rudy and Eris back home, is like, well, my job here is done. It's been a fun adventure, my friend, but you don't need a babysitter anymore. And that's when I was like, oh, fuck, here come the tears. He doesn't need a babysitter anymore. He's leaving him be. And Rudy's crying. Eris is crying. Again, I'm crying. He's like, goodbye. They kind of say their goodbyes. It's very emotional. Rudy's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then the Superb's like, Eris, you've grown so much. You're a warrior. Keep training. And he says, you guys don't like to be treated like kids, but let me treat you like kids one more time. Head pats both of them. As he's pulling his hand away from Eris, she goes to grab his hand, that kind of like And he just keeps pulling his hand away. And you're like, oh, fuck me. Are they ever going to see each other? And then he goes his separate way. They get into the castle. Sorry, this is the whole thing. They get into like where the castle was. All the villagers that used to live there are slowly assembling because they got transported across the globe, basically. And we meet a few people we haven't seen in a while. And super emotional because Eris finds out we didn't even know as the watchers. We thought her parents still might be alive. Her grandfather we knew was dead because they cut off his head, blamed him for the situation. She just finds that out. And she finds out both her parents are dead, so she's the last living heir of the throne. And of course, big asshole court-like secretary's like, well, if you become this other kingdom's concubine, we might survive. And then Rudy's like, nah, fuck you. And then Eris's old bodyguard is there, and she's like, nah, fuck you. So, what happens to a woman where she's like down, very emotionally vulnerable? She's in love with this one guy, Rudy. You know, we saw in the last episode she was in love. You're right. They bang. They literally, there was a whole scene where she like, there was no nudity. There's no, because they're both 15 and like in old times. You know, that's an adult.
They got 10 more years. 10 more good years.
10 more good years till they die. She shows up in his tent, and this is where it's all been leading to, the whole it gets good part. Rudy's like, he actually has this thought of like, no, I can't take advantage of her. This is wrong. And then we actually have a flashback of his old life and how like he's trying to change it around. Come back to him. She sneaks up to him like, no, I want to do this. He's like, no, this is wrong. And then what does she say? She's like, my mother taught me this.
What?
No, hang on. No, she says something.
No, wait a minute.
She says something. She's bear with me. She walks up, whispers in Rudy's ear, I want to have your kittens meow. And then he like drops his cup. So I don't know if it's a spell that happened. Listen, I didn't make this up. I want to have your kittens meow. Her mother taught her that. Rudy and her basically then just bang. And the best part was fades to black. And then that was the end of episode 22. And I think episode 23 starts with Rudy kicking open the front of the tent like, I'm a refreshed man. I got my girlfriend with me. Look at all these bums. I'm a fucking normie now. I had sex. Look at those two hugging. They're going to do what I did last night. Goes back in the tent. Yeah, she's fucking gone. she left him a note like, sorry, I don't think we're just a compatible match right now. And I'm like, oh. From, I want to have your kittens meow to you. Yeah, we're not really compatible right now. She goes off on her own journey. And it's all like, she's walking around. She cuts her hair off. Everyone's like, oh my God, she changed her character appearance. Like, she just cut off all of her hair, basically. She's got short hair, pixie cut. And literally, as she's walking around talking to her bodyguard that she met up with again, she's like, I love Rudis, which is his name. I'm like, aw, she still loves him, but she fucking left him saying we're not compatible right now.
Maybe it's just a nerves thing.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. I mean, they're both like 15, whatever. And then the last half of that episode is Rudy in a severe depression state. Think about it. You just get back after like a 2-year
Sounds like
journey.
this guy's a little bitch.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was heavily bullied in his last life, so he's got a severe like anxiety and like depression issues, which come back. Luckily, by the end of the episode, he gets better. He gets over that fear of like, you know what? I'm going to step out in the world. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to fuck my old life. That has nothing to do with this new life. I was given a second chance. I'm going to do it. And then Rudy goes out of the tent, goes back on an adventure. But everyone forgot about this one very important character, Sylphie. Sylphie. She's like this half-elf girl that was the love interest at the beginning of the season. Back when the last time you saw her was in like March of this year. And you see her again for a slight second. She's like, yo, Rudy was a water mage at age 5. No one believes it. That's like a grandmaster chess player at age like 4 or something. And then you see Sylphie and it's like, oh, is that Sylphie? Wait a minute. They're up in the mountains where there's snow. Rudy's walking in the mountains where there's snow. Cliffhanger. I'm like, you motherfuckers. I mean,
this is where the harem starts next season.
Listen, the comment section when she was like, I want to have your kittens, right? I want to have your kittens meow. That was like every fucking comment. I'm like, guys, like, let's focus on how good the story is and how emotional it is. Nope, I want to have your kittens. Like, motherfucker. Him getting dumped has just been a fucking meme going around.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. I mean, it just puts you in despair. Kind of like Mieruko-chan. I don't know if that's next. I think it's next on the list.
No. Yeah, it is.
Okay, I was going to say, I got a Takt Op fucking transition as well.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The teacher. Oh, we got introduced to them. It turns out he's not a bad guy.
No.
Well, maybe not.
Listen, the teacher is that guy he's a substitute for their teacher that has gotten sick.
Not sick. Had a kid.
Oh, had a kid, sorry. So the substitute is the guy you saw from the original cat episode where Mieruko gave the cat to the gangster dude instead of him because she saw like the tortured cat souls is what we thought. And it turns out he wasn't killing and torturing cats. I guess we're going to hop around a little bit because it all kind of was like one plot point.
Mm-hmm.
He actually loved cats and wanted to save cats, but the other ghost or demon hanging around him was actually his mother. So he was heavily mentally abused.
Yeah, mentally and a little bit of physically.
Yeah. Abused as a kid because he wasn't the perfect, stereotypical like Asian kid with 100% test scores. He's got 98.
Yeah, a 98. It's like, can I go to like my friend's birthday party? And it's like, you're gonna abandon me? You failed this thing. And it's like, he did a very good job. You're a
this is some
horrible
like
person.
Your Line April shit.
Yeah,
and that's what that demon is. It's basically his mother's demon still following him, saying, "No one look at him. He needs to like focus. Look at him now. He's a substitute teacher."
Yeah,
not there's anything wrong with that, but he's no scientist. But then Mieruko has the demons that can still protect her. She uses one to protect herself, so she had 3. One was at the shrine, so she had 2 more. Then she was protected again in like an alleyway or something.
Well, so she was given 3 after defeating the big one at the shrine. She accidentally used it once.
Oh, in that tunnel.
In the tunnel, and it didn't even kill that spirit. It just kind of ran away. The second time, which she realized only after at the very end, where she's like, "Oh, that's what that is? Oh, I've only got one left." Where they're at the park.
Oh,
and she waves at a kid.
No, they animated it as a regular kid with a balloon. It waves, she waves, and it turns into a fucking demon. It's like,
yeah. So saved again, and then they go, "You got one left," and she decides to use the last one to save the substitute teacher. His name's Zen. From the literal, like, weight that is on his shoulders.
Yeah. He almost died saving a cat, by the way. He jumped in front of a car to push the cat out of the way. That's why he's in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, what? Leave him alone. Then she runs in the hall, and then our spirit...
set him free.
Why
don't you set him free?
Yeah. And then she runs in the hall. Spirit people are like, ha! Then she fucking dies.
Yeah. The spirits are a little wonky right now because she has like a dream that she goes to see them, and they're very mad.
Oh yeah,
they still seem pretty mad when you see them outside of the dream.
So I don't know if her dreams are translating into it. Well, in her dream, she brings food. She's like, "Oh shit, take my money."
Wasn't there the thing where you're supposed to like clap 3 times, and she's basically only been doing it twice?
Yeah. But in the dream, she does it 3 times.
Shrine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, she dumped a lot of money in her. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they were upset, which at some point you would think that they'd be happy. She's helping do nice things.
She's bringing food and money and.
Mm-hmm.
But you
get to see Grandma.
Oh yeah,
the old lady.
Well, the old lady was also talking to demons still. It's like, "How you doing, Grandma?" She's like, "Oh, I'm doing fine." Then that guy disappears. It's like, I think Grandma's seeing spirits, like full on spirits.
Yeah. At one point, she also gets sent a photo, and I don't know who sent that to her, but she totally knows something in the background's all fucked up because she immediately is like, I know that hair. It's those two.
I know
What
that
the
aura.
hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But in the, we're just basically meshing it all together because it just felt like one super long episode.
mm-hmm.
At the end of like the last episode, or no, wait, the second to last episode, you find out the teacher guy. It's like, oh yeah, he's been murdering cats. He's been saving them. Then he like walks up on the guy that's been murdering cats, and because they never specified what the blood on him was in his apartment, and then he grabs this random cat burglar guy or cat killer guy,
Mm-hmm.
and now they have a missing poster up of that dude. I'm like, so is he? He's not killing cats, but he's murdering someone because
Maybe.
there's blood on his hands in that apartment.
That was explained though, because the blood on his hands beforehand, that was him trying to save a cat that died. Because he's best friends with a veterinarian, so he'll bring the cat, try to keep them alive if they're severely wounded as long as possible, and for his friend to show up. Sometimes they die. Other times they can get them to the vet, saved, and then adopted like properly. So that's what that was. Also, quick tangent, because we're talking about his apartment.
Are you talking about that lady?
Yes. Fuck that lady.
That lady kept
She seems so nice.
She seemed nice bringing him food
Mm-hmm.
until he tells her off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just afraid people put hair in my food. As she walks away, like, damn, I hit it so well too. It's like,
you
she put a
nasty
fucking
bitch.
hair in his food?
Yeah, apparently there's some like culture where if you like put a hair in a food, it's to make like people fall in love with you.
Some people into some kinky fucking shit.
Yeah, that lady crazy. That's one of those like, I'm so glad he's moving.
Yeah, it's also her friend eats way too much food.
Oh, Hana?
Yeah,
Well, it's explained though.
it's explained, but she still eats way too much food. Listen,
Yeah.
there were memes going around. She's like, yeah, when she's talking about her breakfast, she's like, my first breakfast, and then I have a second breakfast after that. What? And it was
That's
just a
some
meme.
Hobbit shit.
Yeah, it was just a meme like Pippin. It was like, what about second breakfast? Is this our queen? That bitch eats way, way too much.
Yeah.
So much so she has to go to the fucking nurse's office because she's so fucking hungry.
Yeah, I mean that mom spirit was
Yeah.
pretty oppressive, like especially just crawling around the room.
But
Like,
we
it would
do have
sit-
the interaction between Mieruko-chan and what's that girl's name? Yui or something?
Uria.
Yuria? Yeah. Where they talk about, you know, you can see, she can see, don't mention it to her. It's a
Yeah,
whole...
Hana doesn't know.
Yeah. So it's better for her.
Mhm.
Also, the haunted house scene. We completely forgot to talk about that. They go into this haunted house, and
It's
Hana's
for
like...
free 20 donuts,
I'm
which
so
seems good, by
Yeah.
the way. Until you like at one point during that, I was like, "How big is this fucking haunted house?"
I know, right? Because it's so many fucking long hallways. And you
Mhm.
just see... Before they go in, you just see it's like a makeshift tent. They're like, oh, it's going to be shit. They got like all these people running down this hallway. Like it's big enough to fit like 10 people wide.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Well, we do have that scene where Mieruko's so happy. She's like, oh, I can finally say, I see you. And she's laughing as she runs away.
Mm-hmm.
And then she turns to a random actual demon. She's like, I see you. Oh, walk away.
Yeah. It was kind of nice, especially because you don't really see her smile or like
Ever,
have
really?
true joy. And yeah, man, that haunted house was massive.
I mean,
I do like the little joke there at the very beginning where they're like, "Oh, it won't be that scary." And then it gets to the first guy who's like the chainsaw one, and they start like running after, and it's like, it's the Western style ones.
yeah,
They
dude.
chase you. And I was like, yeah.
like as soon as they said, I'm like, did they not do that in like Japanese haunted houses?
Probably not.
Like imagine if they went to fucking fuck, what's it called over here?
It's like Sleepy Hollow and stuff.
Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, where they will like you sign a waiver so they can grab you. It's like imagine just fucking walking, they grab you and they're fucking revving a chainsaw in front of you.
Yeah.
They would fucking die over here, dude.
It was so over the top. It's a donut shop. Even at one point, they're like, "Is this their main business? Why is this so ridiculous?"
Yeah.
So-
wonder how much they paid to get in, because it was only for like 20 free donuts if you get the stamp.
Yeah, I would assume it's free. Dude, like,
Yo,
something.
fucking Krispy Kreme, Dunkin' Donuts, step up your game.
Right? Like, that's
So much shit happened in like those 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm. After the bad dream,
Or 4. Yeah, because it was 4 total.
We watched 4.
Because the haunted house was first of all that, right? And then we went to the
second?
cat. Was it the cat thing, then haunted house, then?
The cat stuff was interspliced between.
Oh, okay.
Because there's the build up of the teacher where he looks more and more suspicious, and then at one point, one of the schoolgirls who likes the substitute teacher, you cut to them walking down a street, and it looks like the teacher's wearing like a hoodie and stuff, and is almost about to murder a cat. Turns out to be that like scumbag dude, but you don't know that.
Which
till
I want to
later.
point out, like their draw lines are completely different, but they drew the teacher.
Yeah. So it was just kind of one of those like intersplicing between those, and then like eventually it crescendos to the big stuff that we finally reveal. The kind of about it. The near the ending, again, these like god spirits seem kind of pissed.
Yeah, it's a weird. Maybe they're just annoyed. They have to. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, this is the end of the season, so now we gotta wait for Vogan season 2.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna announce a season 2 or not.
I might just read it. Well, to be fair, with all the announcements that have happened in the past week, we should probably talk about some announcements real quick. All the announcements this week for people that don't know. Bleach got an announcement for its season and a promotional video, and just like, well, Matt's a bitch for crying. Did you cry during the Bleach opening, the Bleach promotional video?
Yes, a lot.
Who's a bitch? I kind of teared up too. I was like, oh my god, it's back. Our boy's back.
I watched it a couple times. Like
It's so well
points.
done.
Yeah, it's like
It's the same
too much
style.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
That like swells for me.
Well, it's the same style, but like updated graphics, and it
I've
looks
also
nice.
read most of the 1,000-Year
You
Blood
can't
War.
read. Don't lie to us.
Fuck you.
Oh, that did lead us into a conversation about how old is your copy of Bleach?
Yeah, I have a volume 1 copy of Bleach that's serialized 2007.
What does it say on the back?
It's got like
watch on Toonami or something.
as seen on Adult Swim.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you can't get this one anymore.
That's a collector's. It wasn't that. Was it your Blood Plus one that's been heavily read?
Yeah. The Bleach one I've read through a couple times. I could never sell either of them. I'd literally have like not the spine, but the actual book side where you flip through. In marker, my name is put on there, so I wouldn't be able to sell it, which is fine. I mean, they're books that I wanted anyways.
Yeah. So Bleach got its announcement
Mm-hmm.
and its promotional video. Bleach is October of next year.
Mm-hmm.
So October 2022. Then Dr. Stone, which I've been waiting for a long time, it got like a double announcement trailer at the same time where I don't remember what they call the arc. It's like a
5-episode mini arc or something.
it's like a mini arc on the ocean. That's coming out next year, I think, October. And then 2023 October, so literally like 2 years from now, we then get season 3 of Dr. Stone. But to be fair, I was looking into it more. It's just to give their animators enough time to do everything like correct, no rushing, because every studio is super busy for the next couple of years. And then, sorry, what else was announced? My phone's dead. So if you go into, let me see if I have enough juice to. I'm opening Discord here. Sorry.
You didn't put it in the right one unless you double posted it. I got it. It's gonna be right here.
There's like a. Oh yeah, My Hero season 6 will release October 2022. So October next year is fucking stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, the same guy that did Makoto Shinkai's. There was a short picture reveal of his next work of art, kind of what it is. These doors kind of appear throughout, and like events happen around it. So he has another
Yeah.
movie coming out next year.
It's called Suzume no Tijimari.
Yeah. So My Hero did get a promotional video kind of showing off the next arc that's going to go on. Speaking of My Hero 2, the author has said he would like to end My Hero next year. There was like rumors he's going to end it next year, which kind of makes sense because they have so much that they can go through. Now that we don't know if that means My Hero Academia is going to end and they'll do like a My Hero whatever afterwards, like actually them as pro heroes out of school. It could go any way. They could do like the Naruto Shippuden type thing, where it's like Naruto, then you have Shippuden, and after that, there was some other stuff announced. I can't remember what else was announced.
Rurouni Kenshin?
Oh yeah, that's right. Rurouni Kenshin was announced. Slam Dunk is getting a movie.
And Jujutsu Kaisen 0 had a preview trailer.
Yep, they had a new preview trailer. So if you just go online to any of the anime forums, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's been announced. Like the list just kept going on. Like it just feels like every 6 hours something new was announced.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was one of those moments where you're just sitting back and you're like, yeah, there's so much.
Well, we even were talking. You even said it feels like the new golden age of anime. Because, the early 2000s felt like it kind of died off. Late 2000s, we got some good stuff, but not solid all the time. Now we're picking back up. So we're reaching kind of like the crescendo of the best stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of crescendoing, Takt Op has some good music inside of it.
Yeah.
Dude, I cried. It's been a rough week for me. There's been a lot of crying. Did you cry?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad. I don't know what it was. Maybe headspace or whatever, but I wasn't quite affected. Maybe because I kind of saw it coming, but
it was very predictable in the way they set it up. Because when you start an episode of there was what was it? The first episode we watched this week, which was what, episode 8? Lenny was Lenny and Titan were oh, we're always going to smile and be a team together, right? Those are famous last words if someone's going to fucking die this episode.
I think that was 9.
Yeah.
We watched 9, 10, 11.
That's what it was. So it was 9.
12 aired middle of the day today, and we didn't have time.
Yeah.
I guess that is the final episode. They finally announced that it is the last episode.
That's a lot to fit in the one.
Yeah, they really waited till the last moment to say that it was the final episode.
I guess we'll get there. But the whole thing there were 2 episodes in a row where Titan and Lenny, our second set of kind of extra characters, were we're going to stick together. We're going to make it through this. Let's smile together. Let's play together. That's always a bad sign, especially for side characters, because that's kind of a trope of, we'll stay together, and then people die. Spoiler, Lenny dies, our Ada main character. But he does die for, kind of a good cause. He probably could have gone about it better, though, because Heaven had a gun pointed at Takt. Lenny jumped in the way. You heard a gunshot. Lenny got shot once, and you're like, oh, fuck, maybe he'll walk it off. And then she shot him 2 other times in the back, and you're like, oh, man, maybe Lenny's not going to walk this off. But he does use his final, moments to, super drive Titan, which we didn't know was a thing. Even the,
Sagan,
yeah, he was like, whoa, what the fuck? Yeah. And then Titan was just like, you like 1 shotgun? How about 2? How about 5?
Yeah, Sagan, as a reminder, is the head of the Symphonica, and turns out is the one behind Takt's dad's death, and has also, just like Schindler, secretly been using Hell's harmonizer to draw D2 into locations.
To cause panic, and they need us.
Yeah, and so far it hasn't exactly been fully revealed. I'm assuming the last episode does a good job of it. But it's why? Why can't there be good people? Just have the one dude. Why is it the organization that started out good has to become bad, and then there's good people in it that try to stop it? Where it's just let there be that one bad apple. Why are there 2? Also, why did Schindler get released if he was doing the same thing the Commander was doing?
I feel like episode 11 was just a huge setup episode for what we're going to get in 12.
Mhm.
9 and 10 were rough.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot more of Lenny and you find out.
They do make it to New York. That is a big
I
important
guess we forgot to mention they did make it to New York. And they just happened to randomly run into Destiny and Anna's family just on the sidewalk when they park.
That's where they were headed to meet the family, though.
Yeah, but they just conveniently met at the same time. It's like, why can't you just wait a little bit? Like, you don't pull up and people are just, we just ran into you.
That happens.
But, dude, the whole Lenny thing, because they gave him basically 2 episodes. Because you find out Lenny was actually a student of Takt's dad, and then Takt's dad was also a student of Lenny for cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of emotional because Titan was like, teach me how to make good pancakes the episode before. Then Lenny taught Takt's dad how to make good pancakes because Takt's dad wanted to make the perfect pancakes for Takt when he met him again. And then disaster strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny's learning from Takt's dad. Then he sees his performance and then boom, D2 attack.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you see Lenny get injured. And then Takt's dad dies, and you see that Takt is there with him.
Mm-hmm. Lenny sees basically Takt crying over his dad's body, but he's severely injured as well, and then passes out.
And then that's when I think they do a little talking, and then Lenny becomes a music art, or no, he becomes a maestro, and then he gets paired with Titan, which is a music art, and then you have that whole conversation of, I'll always smile for you, Lenny, but if I stop smiling, you smile for me. And Lenny, in those last moments when he's conducting that fight, she's not smiling, but Lenny's smiling, and you're like, oh, why? Why do you fucking do this to me?
Yeah.
Dude, the animation in those 2 episodes, like the beginning of the season, first episode animation was all right. Though, a couple episodes in, animation was meh. I don't know who animated those 2 episodes. I think that was Mappa. Because remember, they were supposed to go back and forth with this. But the animation on Lenny was like, this boy needs everything. Like that fight with like Titan when she shoots those 5 shotguns and fucking hyper beams half the city away. Which is still bullshit that like Heaven was like, I'm knocked out. I fainted. It's like, nah, bitch, you should have been fucking dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Heaven and Hell are supposed to be like the most powerful music arts. One big thing we haven't talked about, because they finally get analyzed, both Destiny and Takt. Takt is fucked up.
He's got AIDS.
The last fight between Hell and Schindler, they're like, if he keeps fighting like this, he's got like a month to live, and it's like, ooh, and he's collapsed.
Well, he's like
within an episode, he's collapsed twice, right?
Yeah. He's fully scarred from like the hand up into the neck, which is why they tell him like we can put him in cryostasis until we figure out something.
That was at the start, and then they fight again because he helps Lenny and Titan, and for the rest of that, his face is like.
This is also all within the course of like 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's like. He's collapsed twice in 2 days. His whole face is still like red. His whole body, like it's a deep red. And it's like, are they going to like guilty crown this shit? Like, is he going to fucking, I guarantee you he's dead. I haven't seen it. I'm just like, there's no way they lead up to this and he lives. Either Destiny dies or Takt dies.
I have a theory, but we'll get to it. So, real quick, at the Symphonica, Sagan, it was kind of gross, like literally just
stabs his hand.
Yeah, it was one of those like, ooh, they could have cut away from that. That was a little graphic. Why
cut away at this point?
The D2 like crystal pillars basically spike up everywhere, and they're just being born in the headquarters that is designed to stop them, which really complicates things. Anna, her sister,
is like a head researcher there.
Yeah. What's her name? Loka, I think?
Yeah. No, I think it's Loda.
Loda?
I think it's Lotta or TTE. OT?
Something like that.
Lotto,
I know it started with now. She is a little
Crippled.
wheelchair bound.
Crippled.
Crippled. Yeah. So Anna and her sister are stuck there. Takt wakes up after being passed out for like 18 hours or some shit like that they said.
Yeah.
And realizes, we need to break in there. And
Dude, like the cool thing about that is they do show some of the other music arts background wise. I'm like, oh, they'll
their
never show them
designs are
again.
so cool. Like,
Oh yeah,
each design of a music art.
they're so
like,
unique.
mm-hmm.
And then you got Lenny over there, like, yo, you like abs? Well, we know you like abs.
Yeah, personally, though
think
it's
Lenny's
fairly simple, Titan's music art like design is super cool.
It's simple and creative at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other ones are just kind of over the top, like the band one. I'm like, it's a little on the Nutcracker is technically what her, because you can hear her theme when they fight. Because anytime one of them is fighting, it's their theme on their playing. Yeah. But the most important part of all these episodes, after Lenny dying, emotional, Annie just kisses Takt. I don't know why I kissed you, but I just did. I don't know why any of this shit's happening. It's like, yo, bitch, you made the right choice. This dude could die in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, Destiny's over there like, my man.
Yo, he gave me his arm. What now?
Yeah, I did think there was going to be like a weird like Destiny / cassette like talk. Like, because they literally go on a date. Like Anna sets up like the date thing.
Oh, yeah, there was
and
a
then
whole date
later
scene.
in the day, she kisses him. And it's like, well, that seems real weird, doesn't it? You
Yeah.
went through all that effort.
To be fair, Destiny was like, yo, popcorn? Popcorn? Cookies?
It's just a quirk of hers. But
The bitch eats too much.
the Takt,
I guess
Titan,
a lot did happen in like 2 episodes.
yeah,
The
Takt,
last episode
Titan,
was just
and,
boring.
Destiny get in there. They do finally help
Eliminate a lot of the D2 and save Annie and
Valkyrie shows up again, and it's like, yo, Anna, just like say you'll be the one. Like,
I know, that's what I thought
feel
was
like
gonna
you have
happen.
a disposition already anyways.
I
Like,
feel
that'd
like
be cool.
I feel like that would have been the thing.
Of course, Valkyrie gets a little too like hyped, or it's like, we need to do this, and Titan just fucking whacks her over the side of the head. It's like, sorry, but can you shut up, please?
Doesn't whack her, hits her with the fucking butt of the shotgun. She's like, poof. Okay, sleep.
Yeah, and then
Takt and Destiny are just left to fight.
Yeah,
That's where we leave off.
Yeah, because they said that they're gonna go on and stop Sagan, and that's when Anna kisses Takt and does that like, I don't know why I'm doing this. And sister's over there and sitting in the wheelchair being like, hey, go get him, Tiger. And then they're technically other sister's body, because Cassette, Destiny, it's like both of their sisters are just over there like, it's a little awkward when you actually look back at that in retrospect.
I don't know how rough the episode's going to be. I might watch it today just to say I watched it.
The final moments, which was one of those like, oh, I didn't expect them to do that. Like hell and heaven.
Yeah, hell's walking and holding heaven, which is severely fucked up. But they play her off as like, yo, I'm okay, I'm cool.
Yeah. And then
they pull out the tuning fork. And then she like, hell runs the tuning fork through both of their chests. And I'm like, oh, they just killed each other themselves? I guess that's happening. Turns into a puddle of like black mesh. Missiles come out, and I'm like, whoa, where the fuck is it going? Like 100 missiles come out, killing all the D2 basically in there. And then they merge into one, like Yubel from fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm like,
yeah, I was like,
what?
Oh, that's real weird. When they merged, I was like, heaven, hell, like, is their name? I just guessed their name, where I was like, are they going to be like Pandora or Purgatory? Where I was like, that seems to be the most reasonable thing. Like, you merge them together, like that's supposed to be the weird space. They're like, I'm, Orpheus or whatever. And it's like, that's not what I was thinking at all. That's stupid.
What the fuck is this?
Apparently, it's like the still play on of like all the song stuff, because there's like a movement called Hell and Heaven, and then apparently a sonata called Orpheus.
I mean, this whole time they could use, fusion. It's fusion.
So what do you think's gonna happen? Can we guess, and then we'll move on to Demon Slayer?
I think Takt and Cosette. Takt and Cosette / Destiny. They're going to fight them. They're barely going to win. Takt's going to be on the ground dying. Destiny's going to go back to being Cosette some magical way. Our boy Sagan is going to be, basically dead. And then, like, I don't know, Destiny or Takt's going to have to sacrifice himself to take him out, or they're going to, like, thermal nuke themselves out of there. Like, Takt's going to use the last of his body energy, full red, blow up. That's going to be it.
I feel that Takt is going to push himself so far, and he's not going to die. It's basically like a final push towards, and Takt and Destiny also merge into like a singular kind of like entity, because they're already connected as it is.
Well, it's true, because Destiny did merge with Cosette.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a person with a music heart.
Yeah. So becoming one, both the maestro and the music heart, as an ultimate like version of themselves, which would also theoretically explain why Anna is suddenly like a love interest as much. So
Alabama 100.
yeah, I feel like that is the most reasonable thing, because you already see a little bit of the like music heart aspect in Takt when he like has that super speed and stuff like that anyways.
Yeah.
So I feel like that makes sense, because they did also just introduce merging in the last little bit, where it's like, I think that's just where they're going to go.
I wonder if the last episode's like 45 minutes or something instead of 24. That could have been it.
Ooh, what if they do the thing because Valkyrie doesn't have? Because I feel like they're going to do a season 2. They should. At least like one of those, like try to wipe out the rest of the D2. Yeah. I don't know what the last episode
because that was only
like.
one shard of everything.
Yeah. Where, they merge and he becomes like the ultimate version. And then he has 2 music art with him. Titan needs a maestro. Valkyrie always needs a maestro. She's never had one.
Oh, that's true.
Ta-da. Especially because, like, during the fight, you see in the main hall him instructing Destiny, Valkyrie, and Titan together anyways.
Yeah.
Where he has experience watching his dad conduct an orchestra, not a singular piece.
Oh, that's true.
So who knows? Well, I'll probably go home and watch it and be like,
you know what he might, you know what he might do instead? Set his heart on fire. Set ablaze your heart. Speaking of setting your heart ablaze,
that man dead.
That's all that episode was.
Yeah.
Listen, my favorite part of the episode though is him having to confront the sword guy.
We are talking about Demon Slayer now.
Yep, we're on Demon Slayer. We're talking about the new season. So episode 1 was 46 minutes. 43. So we're talking about episode 1, 2, and 3. So episode 1 was pretty much a like catch up of what kind of happened. Tanjiro goes to talk to Rengoku, and he talks to Senjoku, which is Rengoku's brother, younger brother. And he meets him, and he's, immediately he's like, oh, that looks like Rengoku's brother. It's like, what said, what pointed him out? Was it the orange hair was it the yellow hair with the orange tips? He's like, hey, I'm here to talk about your brother. And then obviously he's in a very depressed state. The crow already told me. Yeah. And Tanjiro just wants to talk to him more about, your brother. I respected him. And of course, Rengoku's dad shows up. I don't remember his name because I had it written down on my phone.
I don't remember.
Which has always been a lousy drunk. Even more of a lousy drunk since Rengoku died. And we'll skip over a lot of the small stuff. They get in a little bit of a scuffle.
A little bit.
Yeah. Tanjiro literally goes to headbutt him, back headbutts him, right as Senjoku's like, no, he's a former Hirashi. And then fucking both of them are knocked the fuck out. There was a little bit of talking. Tanjiro has a lot of respect for Rengoku. Sacrifice himself. Like, I think the first, 10 minutes of the episode is just a re-summarization of the fight and what happened. Because you get the cool, set your heart ablaze. Final form, exotic art. is what it is, which is still a very key point that they haven't mentioned at all because everyone has forms. I was emotional too.
Yeah.
This whole week is just crying because you got to watch him die again in your arms. You're like,
the dad notices the earrings, which is what sets him off. Which apparently
is
like, the sun.
Yep,
yeah.
the sun form,
which
or
is
sun style, which is the original style, and every other style is just a copy, cheap mimic of it. And he's trying to figure out, are you here to mock us with your form? Which then sets the whole thing of, but our family has never done this before. Our family's always been, charcoal makers. We even have like a lineage, which you could always fake that shit.
Yeah.
So
it was a good episode. And then you get a little wild there near the end.
Yeah, sword makers like, yo, what the fuck you do to my swords? And Tanjiro chases him all night. He's like, I'm sorry. Yeah, here's some rice. What they give him like
I forget. There's like an aspect where Tanjiro's still wounded from the fight on the train, and like is having trouble staying conscious even while dealing with like Rengoku's like dad. So on his way back, he's like, how did you survive like an entire night of running away from that dude after like literally having such problems with your wound earlier? Which, by the way, Rengoku's little brother gave him the hilt.
Oh, yeah.
Or the guard.
That was very emotional. He's like, I want you to have this guard. And Tanjiro, obviously being Tanjiro, is like, I can't take this. You keep it. He's like, no, my brother would want you to have this. And then, of course, cried again. I'm like, I cry a lot. I get super emotional with this shit. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the thing of Sanjiro, Rengoku's brother, is going to work on getting the documents and files back in the book because he was going to give Tanjiro the book about, the flame style or fire style. And you see there is an important scene where Rengoku's dad is about to start drinking more sake, and Tanjiro is like, the last words your son wanted me to let you know is, please take care of yourself. And then his dad puts down the sake and then breaks down crying. It was very emotional. It's like, because you re-see him die, then you see the family crying, and it's just the whole thing.
Yeah. But Dad's name is Shinjiro.
Yeah.
Because, of course, they all got to end in Jiro.
Make
it complicated as shit.
It's 1800s. There wasn't much to it.
I mean, they all have last names. That's a plus.
Yeah. Was the start of the district there when he kidnaps the girls?
That was there near the end of the episode. Yeah, that's where things start to get wild because you meet Tengen, which is one of the Hashira.
Yeah. And he takes two of the girls. He's like, I need them for the entertainment district.
One of them's not even like an official member of the corps. She's like a maid, essentially.
You do meet that one butterfly girl again that realizes Tanjiro believed in me to make my own decisions. Follow your heart.
Yui, I think?
Yeah. Grabs them and it's like, don't take them. It's like, this is an official order. And of course, our boy Tanjiro was like, what are you doing taking these little girls, you pervert? He's like, what pervert? Like, the faces always get me in this show. It's like,
Yeah, I love how he's just like immediately on their side.
Yeah.
And
well, the point is, he's like, I can't tell if, what did he say? I can't tell if they're surrounding him or if he's grabbing them. Like, I don't know whose side I'm on. You're taking these girls without permission. Let them go. Then, of course, Inosuke fucking Zenitsu.
Well, real quick, because Tanjiro points out where it's like, one of them isn't even like part of the official corps, so you couldn't take them on a mission anyways. And Tengen's like, you're right.
Yeah, fucking yeets her off the
roof. And still holding the other one. It's like, well, I need like them for this mission. That's when Tanjiro is like, we'll do it. And he's like, we will. And that's when you see both
Inosuke and Zenitsu show up.
Yeah,
all
flanked
cool,
on both sides, like ready to strike. And it's like, we'll do it. And he's like, fine. Smacks that chick's ass and throws her off to the side too. It's like, why? What was that for?
That's sexual harassment.
Yeah. That was like the core thing anyone talked about. Where it's like, why?
Because he's flashy.
Yeah.
Listen, if he says flashy one more time, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit.
He's very over the top in the next episode when they actually like go to the entertainment district. He basically tries to like sell them off. Like
no, he doesn't try to. So listen, you're in the entertainment.
One of them, he was real desperate. Like if Zenitsu was like,
if you're not familiar with the entertainment district, like red light district, this is thing in Germany and Japan, or it's basically
many other places.
Yeah, many other places. They're the most popular there. Like when you hear red light, it's usually one of those two. It's where like most whoring goes on. Like in that time period, it was perfectly legal. Girls are brought there to pay off family debt or any debt they might have, so they have to whore themselves out to pay off that debt or just to make money. Like Samurai Champloo has it in it as well if you need like familiarization. Mm-hmm. And at one point, it's like, I need to speak to my wives because he's got 3 wives inside the city. And the whole time, the thing that made that episode was Zenitsu being like, wait a minute, you have a girlfriend? No way a guy like you has a girlfriend. I bet you're just a fucking lowlife. It's like, yeah, my 3 wives. Like, wait a minute, you have 3 wives? What the fuck? How do you have 3 wives?
He gets like progressively madder.
Yeah.
And then he eventually dresses them up as women. They look horrible.
Oh yeah, they look fucking ugly as shit.
That's like really bad geisha makeup.
Yeah.
And he dresses down to look more like a commoner. He looks hot. I'll just be honest.
He's flirting with every shopkeeper.
Yeah, and he's just way better looking, even without being super flashy.
Yeah. Would you take one of these girls? And she's like, well, for you, I could. I think who gets sold off first? Tanjiro.
Yeah. The like shop owner, the husband is like, I don't think, and he like, oh please, and it's like, well, maybe for you, and the husband's like, what the fuck?
And she's ugly as shit.
Yeah.
Tanjiro gets sold off first.
Mm-hmm.
Then
she turns out real mad because they like remove the paint and she's got a massive he's got a massive scar.
Later on they remove the paint and they see Tanjiro's scar. It's like, oh, he's useless. I can't whore her out. So it makes Tanjiro house clean and he's super good at it. Like he keeps going like, what's next? What's next? She's like, I don't have anything.
Give me a break. That's what's next.
And then Inosuke gets sold off second, and he just gets sold. How does that one work? I think it just gets grabbed.
Yeah.
She's like, I got a feeling for this one.
Well, he was being like, oh, Joe, why are people so interested in someone that just looks like that? Basically kind of talking down, and it just so happens to be the owner of that shop. And he's like, I'll take this one with me and teach them a lesson, essentially. Yeah. And then they take off the mask or the makeup, and it's like, why would they ever put makeup on such a pretty girl?
Yeah, because Inosuke just looks pretty to begin with.
Yeah, he's given one condition.
Don't talk.
Yeah, just don't speak. Just be a mute.
Yeah, he's got such a like manly, like deep voice. It's like, don't fucking say a word. They'll know right away. Mm-hmm. And then of course, Zenitsu just is like, I can't even sell him. And then what? He's just given away to a shop.
You have them for free.
And Zenitsu's so mad. He's like, why am I last? Why was I given away? This shit's bullshit. Which fuels him to be the best fucking, what was it? Shamisen player. He's like in there and you just see fucking like, lightning comes down, fucking rocking out on it.
Everyone's like, she's so good.
But she's so ugly.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
They made that point.
They even point out where it's like all it took for Zenitsu to play the shamisen was to listen to it once.
Which is like really interesting. Like they point out for him a lot of the stuff is just him hearing it like once. He knows it.
Yeah, his hearing is like over the top.
Yeah,
because he hears crying, which is in the most recent episode.
Yeah, which is like on the 3rd floor, and he's like, gotta go help. Mm-hmm. But we do have to talk about something important. Michael Jackson, Demon Lord, is not in the town, but you see him as a child, part of a family wearing, a new disguise. He almost kills his upper third person from the movie.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, you think I'd be happy that you killed a Hirashi? I expected you to kill him and the other 3 demon slayers without a scratch, and you get yourself hurt and you only killed one? No.
I'm disappointed in you. And he has such like an aura that like literally he's the upper 3 is just being crushed. Like he's starting to bleed from like the head and stuff. And it's like, oh, he's real powerful.
He does point out that the upper 3 is a lot weaker than they used to be, which could mean his blood's not as powerful as it used to be. They do point out a lot of stuff in these 3 episodes that are like, so maybe by the end of the season, Tanjiro will start to learn, the sun style or something. Because it's supposed to be a long season, isn't it? It's supposed to be like 20-something episodes.
I don't think there's an official announcement for how long it is. It'd be dope if it's 24 episodes.
To be fair, in the horror house type thing, there's a lot of little things that go on. I think we can just blow through it pretty fast. Basically, you learn the most requested geisha, the best basically whore in the city, is actually one of the upper 6, I think is her rank. She's one of the upper 6. She's a geisha that our Michael Jackson Demon Lord really likes because she's killed. I think she has the most kills out of everyone, and she's killed. They point out I think it was 7 Hirashi, which is crazy. But most of them could have been lured in, sexy time, stab, kill. We don't know how she killed him. Did she actually have a fight or whatnot? You also do find out one of the wives is being held captive by her, because she can control the fabric in her clothes as like her demon art.
Oh, this might be a long arc. I just looked up the Entertainment District arc in the manga is 29 chapters.
That's like 29 episodes.
Depends on how fast. So it could be like the 24 episode.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be longer because everyone was doing their shit because there's only 3 more arcs after this. So a lot's supposed to happen within this arc.
I will say the upper 6 demon, she, as a geisha, she looks kind of pretty. And then the actual demon form, it's like, yeah, I can see how you'd kill a lot of men.
Yeah.
It's just one of those like I'm going to be honest. That's like,
damn, girl should be fucking thick.
Why you hiding that?
Well, yeah. Different times, man. Different times.
Yeah. Zenitsu gets fucking backhanded like a bitch by her.
He gets fucking... Well, she knows that he's with the Demon Slayer corpse. Like, she knows it's a guy.
Yeah, the last scene.
Yeah.
Well, what a cliffhanger. He gets taken. Just
that's it.
Yeah.
I
cuts
forgot.
to black.
We forgot about a Nosuke's scene where, like,
he's
he
chasing
senses...
her down because he's trying to find Miro.
Yeah, he's trying to find Miro.
Wives.
And then he senses...
Makio.
The reason why he's always so... like only wearing pants is because he is very heavily sensitive. Think of like a Jedi. He's very force sensitive. And he's like following this demon through the ceiling because he has to go through the ceiling, through the wall to get out. And he goes to punch the wall at one point, full speed, like fucking Naruto Rasengan punch. And right when he goes to punch the wall, a customer walks in between him and his fist and just fucking decks this dude into the fucking wall. He's like, damn it, I lost it. And kept running. So everyone knows he's a man too now because of his voice and what he was yelling, I think. So
apparently it's only going to be 11 episodes for this season.
I wonder what they're doing. It'll probably be 11 episodes this season. But they started so early though.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do the thing where it's 11 episodes. So get us from this season to the next season, take a break, and then come back in the spring because we're going into winter anime. That's probably what they're doing.
Hopefully.
Because it'd be 11 now and they do like 17 or 18.
Unless there's just one of those fights that takes so much of their effort to keep the quality high that they just have to make sure it's only like 11 episodes.
Yeah.
Because technically they did 18 episodes because there was 7 episodes which covers the movie, which the first episode is entirely original, And then there are entire...
But the entertainment district is its own 29 episodes.
Yeah.
29 volumes. Or chapters. Sorry, 29 chapters.
Yeah, it could be like part 1, part 2.
Probably what they'll do, just to get them throughout the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, I mean, that pretty much summarizes what we watched. Like, I'm happy to have Demon Slayer back, but it's rough. Because Jobless Reincarnation, like I said, cried. Like, honestly cried. It's a rough ride. We're about to lose Takt Op today. 86 will lose by next time. I think next time we'll probably be summarizing a lot of the other shows because there's only 1 or 2 episodes of them.
Mm-hmm.
So we might just kill everything next week and then talk about the week after Anime Awards because that'll be up by then. Or the voting will be up by then.
18th of January?
Well, I mean, you can start voting and then the 18th of January is when it closes, isn't it? When they announce it?
The 18th of January is when it opens for voting.
I think, I don't know. We'll talk about it more.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I got.
Yeah. Maybe next week it might just be extremely long where we like
knock out everything,
have like a breather where we talk about what we want next season. Like,
yeah, because that's stuff's going to start.
Yeah. Kind of like rank things out.
I can tell you what the worst anime of the season is. Justus watching
Jahi. Jahi is kind of boring.
Jahi is very boring. I was going to say whatever the Square Enix one is.
Deep Insanity, Lost Child.
Listen, Jahi was fun at first, and then it was like, nah, it's not as good of a slice of life as like Kobayashi.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kobayashi still has something to it. It's not the same shit every week.
Yeah. I think I'm most interested in Blue Period. I want to see how that finishes out. But that's kind of it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next week.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, goodbye.